Hello everyone, welcome to Tathastu. I hope you all are doing good. Well, last week we talked about BRICS in our international organization series, and today we are going to talk about BRICS Plus because this organization has decided that six more countries will join them. Okay, so we are going to look at this BRICS. We are going to follow the lead of global leaders, and we'll see what is the significance of this new organization, this new alliance, BRICS Plus, for the world and for the India. Okay, so the BRICS alliance consisting of 5 countries. We all know 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa. Okay, and if I give you a brief recap, so this idea was first proposed in 2001 by a Goldman Sachs economist, Jim O'Neill. Okay, he said that if these 4 countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, if they come on a single platform, then they can change the dynamics of the world, at least economically. Okay, and this became a reality. This idea became a reality in 2009. Okay, so in 2009, BRIC was formed. Then after 2 years, in 2011, South Africa have also joined them, and then it became BRICS. So this BRICS alliance consisting of these 5 countries has extended invitations to 6 additional countries, and these 6 additional countries have also joined in, and these are UAE, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Egypt and Ethiopia. Now, why is this move important? This move is important because of the 2 reasons. First, it will strengthen the collective voice of the global south, and second, it will foster multipolarity in the world. Now, what is global south? First of all, why multipolarity? Because the world wants to move out. Okay, they just want to move from the idea of when the United States sneezes, the whole world catches the cold, because now every country has the territorial integrity, every country has the territorial independence, but they also want their economic independence. They want their ideas, they want their policies to be made which are specifically related to the dynamics and which are specifically related to that specific country. Okay, so this is one reason, and this will only come with the idea of multipolarity, with the execution of multipolarity. So one is this, and second is the collective voice of global south gets strengthened. So what is global south? Let me show you this band line. This is the band line, and all the countries above this, Australia and these countries, North America, this continent, Europe and Asia, collectively it will be called global north. And these countries, South America, Africa and India, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, this will be called global south. Okay, so what is the significance? The BRICS Plus and its emerging role, how is this important? How this BRICS Plus is going to impact the world order? So broadly there are 2 reasons, there are 2 points. Okay, one is the heft and influence of this BRICS Plus would be far greater than any other organization, even from the BRICS, because in BRICS these 5 countries were representing only 40% of the global population, but with the addition of these 6 more countries, it will represent 50%, almost half of the world population. And out of these 11 countries, there are few major oil producing countries. Okay, and these would be Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, Iran. So all these countries, they will have a sway, and if in BRICS these oil producing countries are also present, then there would be the dynamics of this particular grouping would be very much good. Second is global solidarity. Now it happens that whenever someone is weak, or whenever someone has been crushed by someone, or whenever someone has been dominated by someone, and there is only one person, there is only one Pradhan in Gao, then other people try to collect, they try to come along. Okay, see, we'll fight this person, or we'll fight this individual collectively. Similarly happened in the global south, similarly happened, that is why that's a global solidarity, that there is a western view of the world, there is a global American view of the world, and there is a perspective which belongs to us. There is an idea which belongs to us, and we want the world to see it. We want the world to look the way the world should be looked by our prism. Okay, so the global solidarity, BRICS growth is driven by anti-US sentiment and the desire for multipolarity among the countries in global south, and second, it serves as a platform where nations can express solidarity and challenge the western dominated narratives. Okay, they want that the narratives or the ideas which are out there, they should be seen from different prisms. There should not be only one single prism, one single idea, one single perspective of United States or the Western alliances. That is why this global solidarity. We talked about the global south, global north. Now the evolution and the geopolitical context of the BRICS. So we talked about the emergence of the BRICS, first coined by Jim O'Neill in 2001. Then BRIC, this was formed in 2011. South Africa also joined them. Okay. Now they have some challenges and opportunities. We'll talk about this later. But what is the dynamics of these new BRIC member countries? Okay. So let's focus upon this. Why the joining of these 6 countries is going to impact the global world order. First thing is the unanimous decision. Okay, the BRICS decision requires unanimous agreement from all members. While Russia and China face geopolitical challenges with the West, Brazil, South Africa, India maintain significant partnership with US and Europe. Okay, so there are a few dynamic situations. Okay, in BRICS, what you need is a unanimous decision. But there are instances, for example, the recent this Ukraine conflict. In this, the China, the member of the BRICS, Russia, member of BRICS, India, member of BRICS, China wholeheartedly supported Russia. Okay, but in what India did, India took a neutral stand. India took a stand where सबका भला हो, सब लोग शांति से रहें, खुश रहे. This was the idea. Similarly, when China and India were fighting, and like every time, whenever India was in crisis, when India was suffering through a bad time, they always looked upon Russia, USSR, and they always helped us. Okay, but this time, be it Doklam, be it Galwan, what Russia did was they just stood aside. They said, okay, don't fight, don't do it, but they didn't do it in a very amicable way. Okay, they didn't do it in a very convincing manner. So there is a geopolitical difference between all these countries, and there is a dynamics in the global politics and the international politics which needs to be addressed. Second is the role of China, which is also very dynamic. China is driving BRICS expansion, making the membership expansion a core agenda item. This is the idea of China, which China has been pushing constantly, that there should be broad members, there should be some other members which should also be joined into BRICS. And it can be seen with the membership of the new countries that there are countries which have been pursued by China. Okay, for example, inclusion of Iran. Now, China and Russia's influence is evident in the inclusion of Iran, as Iran was included because India would have wanted, because India has a good relationship with United States of America also. But other than South Korea and Russia, there is one more country with US has some differences, and that is Iran. And if Iran has been included, that this particular country has been included because of the efforts of China and Russia, and both have their differences. We all know both have their differences with United States of America also. So it highlights their collaboration, and this move brings together regional rivals like Saudi Arabia and Iran within the same alliance, reflecting China's mediation efforts. Okay, this wouldn't have happened easily because there are differences between India and Pakistan. Also in the Middle East, there are differences between Iran and Saudi Arabia, Iran and Israel. Okay, so these are differentiating partners. Okay, they are not partners, then there are differences between them. Okay, so if they have been included in this alliance, then there is a sway of Russia and China, and specifically China. And if China is having a dominant hand in a specific grouping where India is also present, then it is a tough task. Okay, it's a tough nut to crack for India. This could prove a tough nut to crack too. Okay, Saudi Arabia shift. Now Saudi Arabia's inclusion marks its pursuit of a more independent foreign policy, deleveraging from its traditional US alliance. Okay, so earlier it was said that Saudi Arabia in Middle East, Saudi Arabia is a country which is in the favor or which is in the court of United States of America. But with the joining of Saudi Arabia, this Global South initiative, this initiative where the idea is that we are territorially independent, but we want our economic freedom. We want a multipolar world, and a multipolar world after the Cold War has ended. It has been said that there is a unipolar world, and specifically that is United States of America, which is just managing all the strings. Okay, but in a multipolar world, the multipolar world damages or it hurts the idea of unipolarity, which has been driven and led by United States of America. Okay, so if Saudi Arabia is also joining it, then it has been said that Saudi Arabia is also against the idea that USA has a sway over the world. Another point is global significance of Iran and Russia. For Iran and Russia, BRICS membership signifies their global partnership and challenges to Western dominance. Okay, so this is also a very important point. Now, what are its implications for India? Okay, we have talked about the dynamic positions of the world. Now, what are its implications for India? So, this is the last slide and you will be free with it. So, one is India has to do a balancing act. India will have to walk on a tight rope. Okay, very tight rope. Why? Because India's participation in G7 summit and in Quad summits reflects its multifaceted foreign policy approach, and it has been shown by the efforts of India, because on world part India has been doing its this currency swap ki we don't want US dollar to be used in the middle, and we are up for the de-dollarization. On one part they are doing this, on other part it has been said that right now India and United States of America are having one of the best relationships ever India and US has ever seen it. Okay, so India is walking that tightrope and they have to walk it now also. Okay, after the joining of these 6 countries. While engaging with Western alliances, India also places importance on its anti-Western stance within the BRICS. Specifically anti-Western, maybe it's a tough word, but the idea is multipolarity. The idea is that Prime Minister Modi talks about कि ना आंख उठा के बात करेंगे ना झुका के आंख में आंख डाल के बात की जाएगी. तो broadly the idea of multipolarity, the idea of plurality is this only. Okay, and BRICS as a non-Western bloc, India views BRICS as a non-Western bloc and it strives to maintain its independent voice within the alliance. Okay. Now the concerns for India. Amid expansion, there are concerns that BRICS could tilt more towards China, potentially sidelining India's interests, because we have seen that there are countries, if Iran have joined it, if Saudi Arabia has joined it, then there is a very high probability that the sway of China is greater in this new bloc. And if this is so, if this has happened, then India has to be very cautious with all these dynamics, and by moving forward they have to look how their interests could be served well. Okay, well, the lecture is over, the video is over. We'll meet in another class. Until then, take care. Bye bye.